In a world where gaming giants dominate the spotlight, some true masterpieces slip through the cracks, overlooked, underrated, and often forgotten. But hidden in the shadows are games that deliver unforgettable stories, incredible gameplay, and pure creative brilliance. So, if you're searching for something fresh, unique, and criminally underrated, you're in the right place. Here are 20 underrated masterpieces every gamer needs to experience. The Order 1886. When The Order 1886 launched, it sparked mixed opinions. But here's the truth. This game is an underrated masterpiece. Set in an alternate history Victorian London, you play as a Knight of the Order, an elite group tasked with hunting supernatural threats. The visuals are absolutely stunning, with some of the most detailed environments ever created. The world building is rich, blending steampunk technology with historical elements, creating a cinematic experience that feels unlike anything else. The gameplay focuses on immersive storytelling and intense third-person shooting, and while it's a shorter experience, every scene drips with atmosphere and polish. It truly feels like playing through a high-budget film. I remember being completely drawn into The Order 1886's world. Sure, it's short, but it leaves a lasting impression. This game deserved far more love than it got, and honestly, I still hope we get a sequel someday. Rage 2. Rage 2 is what happens when you take the high-speed chaos of Mad Max, mix it with Doom-style combat, and throw it all into a neon-soaked wasteland. It's an open-world shooter where explosions, insane abilities, and high-octane gunplay are the order of the day. You play as Walker, one of the last Rangers, on a mission to take down the tyrannical authority. The shooting mechanics are some of the best in any open-world FPS. The weapons feel powerful, the movement is smooth, and every encounter bursts with pure adrenaline. But what makes Rage 2 truly special is that it doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's exactly what makes it so fun. Sometimes I just want to shut off my brain and cause absolute chaos, and Rage 2 lets me do exactly that. The moment I got my hands on the Grav Dart launcher, which lets you fling enemies around like ragdolls, I knew this game was something special. It's a reminder of why we play video games in the first place. Pure, unfiltered mayhem, and an explosion of joy from start to finish. Mirror's Edge. Back in 2008, Mirror's Edge did something no other game had truly mastered: first-person parkour. Instead of being another shooter, it focused entirely on movement, momentum, and flow. You play as Faith, a runner navigating a dystopian city where the government tightly controls everything. The game's clean, minimalistic art style, bright white rooftops contrasted with bold red pathways, makes it one of the most visually striking games ever made. Every jump, wall run, and roll feels exhilarating, and when you chain movements together perfectly, the game becomes pure magic. There's nothing quite like the rush of nailing a perfect rooftop run in Mirror's Edge. The sense of speed, the thrill of narrowly escaping enemies, and the sheer fluidity of movement make it one of the most immersive experiences I've ever had. It's not just a game, it's a feeling, a reminder that movement itself can be art. Quantum Break. From the creators of Alan Wake and Control, Quantum Break stands as one of the most ambitious games of its time. It blends third-person shooting with time manipulation, letting you freeze enemies, rewind events, and teleport short distances, creating some of the most satisfying combat moments in the genre. But what really sets Quantum Break apart is its storytelling. Between chapters, the game seamlessly transitions into live-action TV episodes that expand the narrative, featuring Hollywood talent like Shawn Ashmore and Aidan Gillen. Their performances give the entire experience a cinematic quality that still feels fresh today. I've always loved games that experiment with storytelling, and Quantum Break delivered something truly unique. The way the live-action episodes connected directly to the gameplay made it feel like I was inside a high-budget sci-fi show. And those time powers? Easily some of the most fun mechanics I've ever used in a shooter. Few things compare to dodging bullets in a flash and watching time explode around you.
Detected area. Security violation in progress.
The Surge. At first glance, The Surge looks like a futuristic Dark Souls, and in many ways that's exactly what it is. But what truly sets it apart is its intense limb targeting system, allowing you to slice off enemy body parts to steal their armor and weapons. The combat feels weighty, brutal, and deeply satisfying, supported by a rewarding progression system that constantly encourages exploration. The dystopian setting, where a malfunctioning AI has turned an industrial facility into a death trap, creates an eerie atmosphere that keeps you on edge. Unlike many Souls-like games, The Surge also tells a compelling story through environmental storytelling and audio logs, slowly unraveling the tragedy of its world. I remember jumping into The Surge expecting just another Souls-like clone, but what I got was so much more. The feeling of slicing off an enemy's armored limb and then equipping that exact piece onto my character was incredibly rewarding. Every encounter forces you to make choices. Do you go for the quick kill or risk targeting a specific part for better loot? That constant balance of risk and reward makes every fight thrilling, and the industrial sci-fi setting gives it a fresh identity that most Souls-likes simply lack. OKAMI. Few games can truly be called works of art, but OKAMI is one of them. Inspired by traditional Japanese sumi-ink painting, its breathtaking visuals feel like a living, moving canvas. You play as Amaterasu, a wolf goddess tasked with restoring beauty to a world consumed by corruption. The game's unique celestial brush mechanic lets you interact with the environment by drawing symbols, whether it's slicing enemies in half, creating gusts of wind, or bringing life back to the land. The combat is fluid, the world overflows with charm, and the story feels timeless. A heartfelt adventure filled with wonder and emotion. There's something magical about OKAMI that's hard to describe. Every moment feels like you're walking through a living painting, and the celestial brush mechanic remains one of the most creative gameplay systems ever made. But beyond its visuals, it's the story that stays with you. The journey of Amaterasu and Issen is full of warmth, humor, and heart. OKAMI isn't just a game, it's a legend brought to life, a masterpiece that makes you feel like part of something greater. Mad Max. Mad Max is one of the most underrated open-world games ever made. It perfectly captures the desolate, savage beauty of the wasteland from George Miller's iconic films. You play as Max, a lone survivor trying to build the ultimate war machine, the magnum opus, while battling ruthless warlords across a world where every drop of fuel and scrap of metal matters. The game features visceral melee combat, intense car battles, and a hauntingly beautiful open world that feels alive despite its emptiness. Every road feels dangerous, every fight feels brutal, and scavenging for resources truly immerses you in the post-apocalyptic struggle. The wasteland in Mad Max is more than just a setting. It's a character in itself. Every sandstorm, ambush, and desperate battle for survival made me feel like I was truly living in this world. And the car combat? It's hands down some of the best I've ever experienced. There's nothing quite like ramming an enemy vehicle off a cliff while flames fill the sky. Mad Max is a masterpiece of chaos, atmosphere, and survival that deserves far more love than it ever received.
Wretched roadkill, trying to run us down! Creature!
Wait here.
Give him the news! Be my guest! I'm sure they'll stop shooting so you can make a phone call!
SPEC Ops the Line. Now let's talk about a game that looks like a standard third-person military shooter on the surface, but beneath that, it's one of the darkest and most thought-provoking experiences in gaming. SPEC Ops the Line is a psychological war drama that takes you deep into the chaos of Dubai, buried under sandstorms and moral corruption. You play as Captain Martin Walker, leading a Delta Force team sent to locate survivors of a rogue US battalion. What starts as a simple recon mission quickly spirals into a descent into madness, where every choice carries weight and every bullet fired questions your own morality. What makes this game unforgettable isn't just its intense combat or cinematic presentation, it's the story. The game deliberately subverts every shooter trope you know, forcing you to confront the horrors of war and the consequences of your actions. The further you go, the more disturbing it gets, leading to one of the most gut-punching endings ever made. It's bold, it's brutal, and it doesn't care about making you feel like a hero. Spec Ops: The Line is a masterpiece of storytelling that still sparks discussions over a decade later. If you've never played it, you're missing one of gaming's most powerful narratives.
Heads up, sandstorm's moving in.
Cover me! I'm reloading!
Could be. Now, dig in and get ready.
It's getting really aggressive.
Sunset Overdrive. Now for something completely different. Sunset Overdrive is pure chaos, color, and fun cranked up to 11. Developed by Insomniac Games, this open-world action-adventure throws you into a post-apocalyptic city overrun not by zombies, but by mutants created from a toxic energy drink. Yeah, you heard that right. You play as a snarky, customizable protagonist who doesn't take anything seriously, and that's exactly what makes this game so refreshing. The tone is over-the-top, self-aware, and constantly breaking the fourth wall. It's like a comic book that exploded into a video game. The gameplay, absolutely wild. You grind on rails, bounce off cars, and zip across rooftops while blasting mutants with some of the most creative weapons ever designed, like exploding teddy bears or acid-spraying shotguns. Movement is everything here. Staying still means death, so the game rewards stylish, high-energy combat that keeps you in constant motion. Visually, Sunset Overdrive is bursting with neon color and personality, a complete contrast to the typical dark, gritty, apocalyptic games, and that punk rock soundtrack perfectly fuels the chaos. It's not about surviving, it's about having a blast while the world ends. Sunset Overdrive is a love letter to pure, ridiculous fun, and one of the most underrated open-world experiences out there.
Eat this, asshole! Over here! Oh, take something in your head and ram it down his throat!
The Medium. If you're into psychological horror with a deep emotional story, The Medium is going to pull you right in. Developed by Bloober Team, this game is all about duality, life and death, good and evil, reality, and the spirit world. You play as Marianne, a psychic medium haunted by visions who travels to an abandoned communist-era resort to uncover the truth behind a dark mystery. What makes The Medium stand out is its unique split-screen gameplay, where you explore both the real world and the spirit world simultaneously. It's not just a visual gimmick, it's a core part of the puzzles, storytelling, and the game's unsettling atmosphere. The constant shifting between dimensions keeps you on edge, blurring the line between what's real and what's not. The art direction and sound design are top-notch, with music co-composed by Akira Yamaoka, the genius behind Silent Hill's haunting soundtrack. Every environment feels heavy with emotion and history, and the game doesn't rely on cheap jump scares. It builds psychological tension that lingers. Story-wise, it's a slow-burn mystery that gradually reveals deep trauma, guilt, and the horrors hidden in both worlds. It's beautifully crafted, emotionally heavy, and visually chilling. The Medium isn't about fighting monsters, it's about confronting ghosts, both literal and emotional. It's one of those games that stays with you long after the credits roll. Titanfall 2. Now let's talk about one of the greatest first-person shooters ever made, Titanfall 2. Developed by Respawn Entertainment, this game delivers everything you could want from a fast-paced, cinematic FPS, tight gunplay, incredible movement mechanics, and one of the best single-player campaigns of the generation. You play as Jack Cooper, a rifleman who unexpectedly becomes the pilot of a Titan named BT-7274 after his commander is killed in action. What follows is an unforgettable journey through war-torn worlds, as man and machine form a surprisingly emotional emotional bond that carries the entire story. The gameplay is where Titanfall 2 truly shines. The fluid parkour movement, wall running, sliding, double jumping makes every gunfight feel like an adrenaline rush. Then there are the Titans, giant mech suits that change the battlefield completely, each with unique weapons and abilities that make combat feel endlessly dynamic. And let's not forget the campaign design. Every mission introduces a new, mind-blowing mechanic, from time travel to gravity-defying level design, making it impossible to get bored. It's innovative, fast, and constantly surprising. While it was criminally overlooked at launch, Titanfall 2 has since earned its place as a cult classic. It's got heart, creativity, and gameplay that still outshines most modern shooters. Simply put, it's one of the best FPS experiences you can ever play.
I've lost the hatch. Need cover, need cover.
VAMPYR. Now this one's something truly unique. VAMPYR is a dark, story-driven action RPG that lets you walk the fine line between being a savior and a monster. Developed by Dontnod Entertainment, the minds behind Life is Strange. This game puts you in the shoes of Dr. Jonathan Reed, a brilliant doctor turned vampire in 1918, London during the Spanish flu outbreak. The central conflict? You're a healer sworn to save lives, but you also crave blood to survive. Every choice you make affects the world around you. Do you feed on the innocent to grow stronger, or do you resist your hunger and protect the city's fragile population? It's a moral dilemma that constantly tests you. Gameplay mixes investigation, dialogue choices, and intense combat, with each citizen in the world having their own background, relationships, and importance. Killing someone isn't just another quest decision. It can completely alter the city's ecosystem, unlocking new powers but plunging districts into chaos. The writing dives deep into themes of guilt, sacrifice, and identity, making it more than just another vampire game. VAMPYR might not be perfect in combat mechanics, but its storytelling and moral depth make it unforgettable. It's a game that asks not just what you'll do to survive, but who you're willing to become.
Where is she?
Marvel's Midnight Suns. Now here's a game that mixes superhero action with deep tactical strategy. Marvel's Midnight Suns. Developed by Firaxis, the creators of XCOM, this isn't your typical Marvel brawler. Instead of button mashing your way through enemies, you'll be carefully planning every move, every ability, and every combo in a brilliant turn-based system. You play as the Hunter, a fully customizable hero, the first original character in the Marvel Universe, awakened to lead the fight against Lilith, the mother of demons. The gameplay is where Midnight Suns really stands out. It blends tactical combat with deck-building mechanics, meaning every battle feels like a mix of chess and chaos. Positioning, synergy, and timing matter just as much as power. But outside of combat, the game offers something rare, a genuine connection with its heroes. You can train, talk, and bond with your team at the Abbey, learning about their fears, regrets, and hopes. It's surprisingly emotional and gives the game real heart beyond the strategy layer. Visually, it's stylish and cinematic, with an amazing score that fits the darker, supernatural tone of the story. Marvel's Midnight Suns is the perfect blend of brains and brawn, a game that proves strategy can be just as thrilling as raw action. If you ever wanted to lead Earth's mightiest heroes your way, this is your chance.
You quit now!
Immortals FENYX Rising. Here's a game that doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's exactly what makes it such a joy to play. Immortals FENYX Rising, developed by Ubisoft, is a mythological open-world adventure that feels like a mix between Zelda Breath of the Wild and a Greek comedy show. You play as FENYX, a customizable hero who suddenly finds themselves caught in a divine mess. The world's gods have been turned to stone, and the monstrous Typhon is wreaking havoc across the Golden Isle. Your mission? Restore the gods, defeat Typhon, and bring balance to the world, all while being constantly roasted by the hilarious narrators Zeus and Prometheus. Gameplay-wise, it's a blast. You explore a stunning, colorful world filled with puzzles, dungeons, and secrets. Combat is fast, fluid, and packed with mythological weapons and powers, from the wings of Daedalus to the strength of Heracles. And those vault puzzles, they'll seriously test your brain power. What really makes Immortals Fenyx Rising stand out is its tone. It's lighthearted, witty, and filled with clever humor that pokes fun at Greek mythology while still telling an engaging story. The art style is vibrant and cartoony, creating a world that's both beautiful and inviting. If you're looking for an open-world adventure that doesn't drown you in seriousness, one that mixes fun gameplay, mythic powers, and genuine charm, Immortals Fenyx Rising is an underrated gem you absolutely shouldn't miss. Enslaved Odyssey to the West. Now this one's a hidden masterpiece that deserves way more love. Enslaved Odyssey to the West. Developed by Ninja Theory, it's a cinematic action-adventure that reimagines the classic Chinese tale Journey to the West in a post-apocalyptic future where nature has reclaimed the ruins of humanity. You play as Monkey, a powerful and agile survivor who becomes bound by a slave headband to a young tech-savvy woman named Trip. She forces him to escort her safely across the wasteland. But what starts as reluctant survival soon grows into one of gaming's most heartfelt and emotional partnerships. The storytelling here is phenomenal. The chemistry between Monkey and Trip feels real thanks to stellar performances and motion capture work by Andy Serkis. Their evolving bond carries the emotional core of the game. It's touching, raw, and incredibly human. Gameplay combines fast, fluid melee combat with light platforming and puzzle solving. Monkey's staff-based fighting style feels weighty and satisfying, while his acrobatic movement across crumbling skyscrapers and overgrown highways keeps the pacing smooth and cinematic. And visually, even today, the world is breathtaking. Vibrant colors, lush overgrowth, and ruined cities give the game a unique, hopeful tone despite its apocalyptic setting. Enslaved Odyssey to the West is a rare gem, a beautifully written adventure that blends emotion, action, and artistry. It's one of those games that quietly leaves a lasting impression long after you've finished it.
Points. Try shooting them. I'm marking them for you now. Monkey, it's trying to cut through to the power core. But you're the only one who can stop that thing.
Astral Chain. Now let's shift gears to something fast, flashy, and downright stylish. Astral Chain. Developed by Platinum Games, the masters of high-octane action like Bayonetta and Nier Automata, this Nintendo Switch exclusive delivers one of the most creative combat systems ever made. You play as a rookie officer in the Neuron Task Force, a futuristic police unit protecting humanity from interdimensional creatures called chimeras. The twist? You don't fight alone. You're linked, literally, to a living weapon known as a Legion. This chain between you and your Legion is the heart of the gameplay, creating a perfectly choreographed combat system where you control two characters at once. The result is pure chaos, in the best way possible. You can slash enemies, bind them with your chain, or launch insane tag team attacks that feel straight out of an anime. And outside of combat, you'll be solving crimes, exploring futuristic cities, and uncovering the mysteries behind the astral plane. Visually, Astral Chain is stunning. The cyberpunk-inspired world pops with neon lights, and the art direction, led by Niar's Takahisa Taura and supervised by Hideki Kamiya, gives it a sleek, modern feel. The soundtrack perfectly matches the energy, blending electronic beats with orchestral intensity. It's stylish, it's deep, and it's one of Platinum's most polished and ambitious projects. Astral Chain isn't just about fighting. It's about mastering the rhythm between you and your Legion. If you love fast, fluid, and futuristic action, this one's a must-play.
When to give up? How dare you stand in my way? If you're so eager to die, so be it! We'll end this now!
Before we jump into the final few games, if you're loving this list so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. There are plenty more hidden gems coming your way.
Let my faith reign!
I'm ready! Just find me an opening!
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Now here's a game that absolutely nails the spirit of its source material. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Developed by Eidos-Montréal, this isn't just another superhero game, it's a heartfelt, hilarious, and surprisingly emotional space adventure that perfectly captures what makes the Guardians so special. You play as Star-Lord, the self-proclaimed leader of this chaotic crew, Gamora, Drax, Rocket, and Groot. While you can only control Star-Lord directly, the real magic lies in commanding your teammates mid-battle. Every Guardian has unique abilities, and coordinating them in combat creates a sense of teamwork that feels alive and dynamic. But the real strength of this game isn't just in the gameplay, it's the writing. The banter between the crew is constant, witty, and genuinely funny, but underneath all the jokes, there's a deeply emotional story about grief, guilt, and found family. Each character gets meaningful development, and by the end, you'll care about every one of them. The world design is breathtaking. Vibrant alien planets, weird creatures, and colorful cosmic vistas that feel straight out of a comic book. And that soundtrack? Pure gold. It's packed with 80s rock hits that make every fight and every spaceship moment feel like a movie scene. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is proof that you don't need multiplayer or open-world gimmicks to make a great superhero game. With sharp writing, emotional storytelling, and fantastic music, it's one of the most entertaining and heartfelt single-player adventures in recent years.
We're supposed to capture that by beating him into submission.
We're gonna have to get through that ice armor first!
Prepare yourself. Face Captain Heatclaw. Ha! Look at him struggle.
You said he had purple shorts!
The Evil Within 2. Now we're diving into the nightmarish world of The Evil Within 2, a survival horror masterpiece that blends psychological terror, emotional storytelling, and intense action into one unforgettable experience. Developed by Tango Gameworks and directed by Shinji Mikami, the creator of Resident Evil, this sequel takes everything great about the first game and turns it up to 11. You play as Detective Sebastian Castellanos, a broken man haunted by his past who's given one last chance to save his missing daughter, Lily. To do that, he must enter STEM, a twisted, artificial world where reality bends and monsters lurk behind every corner. What sets The Evil Within 2 apart is how it combines open-ended exploration with pure survival horror. The town of Union acts as a semi-open world filled with terrifying encounters, creepy side stories, and limited resources that force you to think carefully about every move. The combat feels sharp and satisfying, and the stealth mechanics add tension as you sneak through ruined neighborhoods filled with grotesque creatures. But beyond the scares, the story is deeply personal, a tale of loss, guilt, and redemption wrapped inside layers of psychological horror. Visually, it's stunning, grotesque yet beautiful, with nightmarish enemy designs and hauntingly detailed environments. The atmosphere keeps you constantly uneasy, but it's the emotional core that makes it powerful. The Evil Within 2 isn't just about surviving monsters, it's about surviving your own mind. It's an underrated gem in the horror genre and one of the most gripping psychological thrillers you can play.
You hurt me. You'll hurt her, too. I won't let you.
God damn it, Myra! Stop this! Think about what you're doing!
Sleeping Dogs. When it comes to open-world action games, Sleeping Dogs is one of the most underrated gems ever made. Developed by United Front Games, it drops you right into the heart of Hong Kong, a vibrant, chaotic city packed with crime, culture, and incredible atmosphere. You play as Wei Shun, an undercover cop infiltrating the dangerous triad underworld. It's a gripping story of loyalty, deception, and moral conflict, where every mission forces you to balance duty and brotherhood. The writing is sharp, and Wei Shun's journey feels genuinely cinematic. Gameplay-wise, Sleeping Dogs stands out from every other open-world game of its era. Instead of focusing just on guns, it delivers some of the best hand-to-hand combat ever, inspired by martial arts films. The fighting system feels fluid, brutal, and insanely satisfying, letting you counter enemies, use the environment, and pull off stylish takedowns straight out of an action movie. But that's not all. You'll be racing through neon-lit streets, engaging in high-speed chases, and exploring every corner of Hong Kong, from crowded markets to glitzy nightclubs. The world feels alive, packed with side missions, collectibles, and moments that make you feel like a part of the city. With its tight combat, great story, and cinematic flair, Sleeping Dogs is an unforgettable experience that deserved far more recognition. It's stylish, intense, and filled with heart. A true masterpiece that proves sometimes the best games are the ones that fly under the radar. Risk of Rain 2. Now here's something completely different. Risk of Rain 2 is chaotic, addictive, and one of the most replayable roguelikes ever made. Developed by Hopoo Games, it takes the 2D formula of the original Risk of Rain and transforms it into a full 3D experience, while keeping everything that made the first game so special. At its core, it's simple. You land on a mysterious alien planet, fight off endless waves of enemies, collect loot, and try to survive as long as possible. But the twist? The longer you play, the harder the game gets. The difficulty literally scales with time, so every second you waste, the world becomes more hostile. Each run feels completely unique. You can choose from a roster of diverse survivors, from the commando and huntress to the loader and engineer, each with their own weapons, playstyles, and abilities. And as you collect items, your build starts to spiral into pure chaos. Faster movement, higher damage, infinite rockets, until you become an unstoppable powerhouse. What really makes Risk of Rain 2 special is its atmosphere. The soundtrack is phenomenal, calm and mysterious one moment, then exploding into epic intensity as the enemies flood in. The minimalist storytelling through logs and environments gives the world a haunting, lonely beauty that fits perfectly with the game's endless struggle to survive. It's fast, it's challenging, and it's incredibly rewarding. Whether you play solo or with friends, Risk of Rain 2 delivers that perfect loop of tension, discovery, and pure adrenaline every single run.
Get back! Get back!
A Plague Tale: Innocence. Now this one, A Plague Tale: Innocence, is pure storytelling brilliance. Developed by Asobo Studio, it's a dark, emotional journey through one of the most haunting worlds ever created in gaming. Set in 14th century France during the Black Plague, the game tells the story of Amicia and her little brother Hugo, two siblings trying to survive in a world collapsing under disease, war, and superstition. You play as Amicia, a young girl suddenly forced to grow up when the Inquisition hunts her family down. Together with Hugo, she must escape through villages filled with corpses, swarms of flesh-eating rats, and soldiers who'll kill them on sight. But at its heart, this isn't just a survival story. It's about love, innocence, and the unbreakable bond between brother and sister. The gameplay masterfully blends stealth, puzzle solving, and environmental strategy. You'll use light to ward off rats, craft tools to distract guards, and slowly uncover the terrifying truth behind Hugo's mysterious connection to the plague itself. The pacing is perfect. Every chapter feels tense, cinematic, and deeply human. Visually, the game is stunning. Gloomy sunsets, foggy fields, and candlelit cathedrals all create a world that's both beautiful and horrifying. If you love story-driven adventures that hit straight in the heart, this one's absolutely unmissable.
Will descend on the altar, angels. I know you're hungry.
Now, Hugo! Stop it!
Soon you shall eat.
She says rush away from the middle! Alright, I'll hear them.
And there you have it, 20 underrated masterpieces that truly deserve a second chance. Each of these games brought something special to the table, whether it was their story, gameplay, or unforgettable worlds. And yet, many slipped under the radar. So, which of these have you played? And which ones are you adding to your must-play list? Let me know down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this list, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dive gaming content. Until next time, keep exploring, keep playing, and never overlook the hidden gems.